Okay. Hare Krishna, welcoming all for the morning class about Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So today there are several points which we can talk about Bhakti Vinod Thakur, so I'll try to cover a few points, and then if some devotees are interested, they can also add some wonderful points today. So to begin with, straight away coming to the topic. So we, when we see this episodes from the small movie series of Charan, which was created by Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. So there is a very wonderful episode about how Bhaktivinoda Thakur defeated, one fake sadhu, one fake sannyasi. He was not sannyasi; he was a tantric. His name was Baishaki Chain. So I will tell a few, few points about this person and how Bhaktivinoda Thakur defeated him, how he was so determined. So I hope that will be the, good eye opener for many devotees, because nowadays we see so many sadhus coming up, so many, in the name of religion, many people are exploiting others. So this person, Vaishaki Chain, he was a tantric, and he had done lot of tapasyas, and because of the tapasya, he had got some siddhis. Like Prabhupada says that, if you do tapasya, you also can get siddhis, and it is not very it's not very difficult to achieve. Yes, it is. It requires a lot of determination, but it is, in the end, it is shram eva hi kevalam, because it cannot take you out of this material world. It is also material. Like one time, Prabhupada gave an example. Somebody was challenging Prabhupada, can you walk on this water? So Prabhupada said, I cannot walk on this water, but yes, I can do so many other miracles. And one of the miracle is that, you see all these foreign devotees, they are wonderful. They have become wonderful devotees. They were hippies earlier, they have become happy. So this is my miracle. And then responding to that walking on the water thing, Prabhupada said it is just a 50 paisa job, because if I have to walk on the water, I have to cross the river, I need to just pay 50 paisa. For that, I do not have to waste my human life going and doing tapasya and getting this siddhi on walking on water. It is not required. We have so many resources, we can make use of it. So Prabhupada, he gave that answer, and then that was an eye opener for many people who were just thinking that miracles, somebody who does miracle is Supreme Lord. So similar thing happened here. Bhakti, this Baishaki Chain, this tantric, he was also known as Phalgu Baba by, he became so popular by doing miracles. He had so many siddhis that he can read the mind of people. So it becomes very obvious. Somebody comes to you and you tell what is there in their mind. So they start treating you like God. Oh, he's so powerful. He is the Supreme Lord. So like that, they were giving the treatment to this Phalgu Baba. Now, when Bhakti Vinod Thakur was informed about it, actually Bhakti Vinod Thakur was also, functioning as a magistrate in the British government. So this is a very remarkable achievement, because at the time of, when India was not free, the Britishers were not giving such high valuable post to any Indian. They were keeping that limited to the Britishers. But here, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was an exception, wherein he became a magistrate. And why he became a magistrate? Because he was such efficient person. It is said that the 100 Britishers, when they joined together the case, they used to take like 1 month to solve that particular case. That particular case was solved by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in an hour's time. So you can imagine 100 Britishers together solving one case in 1 month. And on the other hand, you see Bhaktivinoda Thakur solving that case in an hour. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was there was no need of fast track courts. The cases were getting resolved very, very quickly, and he was so efficient that he never made any wrong decision. So Britishers, as a reciprocation, what they did, they when you go to Mayapur, you see Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. So you see that there is a railway track which is coming till his house, till his courtyard. The railway track is coming. So which means the Britishers did not want him to waste his time traveling in palki or in in that tonga or things like that, or in car. So they brought this railway. Hare Krishna, am I audible? Sorry, I was dropped off.
No, audible. Audible hai, Prabhu.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prabhu. If there was some bad network, I have changed my connection. Okay, so I don't know till where we heard. Can somebody let me know? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I'll go off the video, so I think that will be fine. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, you're audible, Prabhuji.
So I think we were talking about Phalgu Baba, how he was trying to cheat people. So, so yes, we were also talking about how Bhaktivinoda Thakur was so efficient that the Britishers never wanted him to waste his time, and for that purpose, they brought the entire railway track near his house. So he had to just board the train and go to the court and come back. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a very big role model for the Grihasthas, and that's one of the very unique quality of Bhaktivinoda Thakur because he was a Grihastha, and being a grahastha, he was so nicely managing his duties, and he was also an the acharya. So we can imagine how much responsibilities Bhaktivinoda Thakur would have got. So I'll come to the bullet points. So nowadays we sing a lot of Vaishnava songs. So you won't be, I mean, you would be surprised to know that a lot of Vaishnava songs were written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Right from beginning, when we begin the class, we sing Jai Radha Madhav, that was written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We sing Yashamati Nandan, that was written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In the evening, we sing Kibo Jayo Jayo Gora Chande Arati Kashobha, that was written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Bol Hari Bol, and then Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. So wonderful songs. And by hearing those songs, we can understand what was the depth of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You know, it came from his heart. So those are the bhajans which we sing. We still can connect to Supreme Lord. So we were talking about this tantric. So finally, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to go and challenge this person. He was this tantric was staying in a forest, and he was calling his so-called disciples, devotees, and people were coming. And it was brought to the notice of Bhaktivinoda Thakur that this tantric was exploiting women. He was creating some fire, and then he was taking the women along with him, and then disappears along with them, then comes back, after exploiting them. And this was going on, and people were thinking this is the blessing of this tantric, and they never called him tantric. Actually, this person used to declare him that he is a Mahavishnu. He is the incarnation of Mahavishnu. So we need to be very, very careful with such people, because nowadays on the name of religion, people are exploiting. First thing, there are no people who have got faith in God, and in the set of people who have got faith, those people are exploited by these so-called sadhus. So the problem is big in this age of Kali, and that is why the responsibility comes to all the devotees, that they preach nicely and they preach as per the sampradaya, as per the parampara. Then only we can safeguard people. Otherwise, they'll be exploited like this. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur openly challenged this person, and then this person was trying to he was trying to win over the common people, saying that I'm going to kill all these Britishers, and then our country will become free. Like that, he was giving so many allurement, and then in the end, he gives some allurement to Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. He says that if you come to my side, I'm going to make you judge, because you are an Indian. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur was never attracted by all these things. He kept telling him that if you are a Supreme Lord, then why don't you come and stay in Jagannath Puri? What are you doing in this forest? And where are the references about you being the Supreme Lord in the scriptures? So this person became annoyed, and then he tried showing some magical power, against Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In his house, his children became sick, and he was also having severe pain. And then this person was brought into the court. Finally, this tantric was brought into the court, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur knew this point, that these tantric, they will have their energy stored in their big, they have a big long hairs. So the energy is stored in the hairs. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur he did, he indicated the constables. They caught hold of this tantric, and they cut off his hairs, this tantric hairs. And the moment this tantric hair was cut off, all his energies vanished, and he became very, very weak. He fell on the ground, and then he was jailed. And after a few months, he committed suicide and died. So you see how Bhaktivinoda Thakur was so bold and so powerful in his preachings. And so that was one thing. Bhaktivinoda Thakur defeats that Phalgu Baba and so-called this so-called devotee, this tantric. Then we understood that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote wonderful Vaishnava song. We heard today that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was an efficient judge in the government of Britishers, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a great Grihastha role model for all the devotees. And last but not the least, we can see that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he brought back the so many wonderful places in Mayapur Dham. When we go to Mayapur, whatever birthplaces of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are seeing Shivasang, and all these places were discovered by Bhaktivinoda Thakur with the help of Jagannath das Babaji. So now when the devotees take us to these places where Jagannath das Babaji used to sit and chant, and then how Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought him back, and Jagannath das Babaji was so weak, but the moment Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought him to the place of Lord Chaitanya's birthplace, Bhaktivinoda Thakur started jumping and dancing. He was so old, but still he was the devotee was not able to walk. He started jumping and dancing. So those are the wonderful achievements of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And then we see that the temple of Vedic planetarium, which we see nowadays, which is being built from the time of Srila Prabhupada, and now also it is under construction. The first darshan of TOVP was given to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He could see from his windows a big temple is coming up, and that is nothing but this temple of Vedic planetarium, which is actually taking place now. So that was the invasion of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It has taken a lot of time, but see now same temple is coming up. So that's the power of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we have lot of wonderful achievements which we can keep on talking. If we discuss the schedule of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we will be surprised. He was having such discipline and powerful schedule. He used to hardly sleep for 1 to 2 hours in the night, and he used to wake up around 10 p.m. in the night and he started writing so many Vaishnava songs, books which we see. So he was a great scholarly author, a wonderful, knowledge in terms of various other languages, which included Persian, etc. And one last point I will make: Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was practicing Krishna consciousness, he actually prayed to Supreme Lord that I want one wonderful devotee to be sent as my child, so that I can take this movement forward. And by the mercy of the Lord, the wonderful devotee who came as his son, can somebody name his son, who came and who continued this sampradaya? That was the blessing of
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
wonderful, yes. So that was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our great grandfather, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. So yes, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was, he was a blessing of the Supreme Lord given to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And we see that how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was so much attached to his father. He used to follow all his instructions. And one instruction we can understand that when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wanted to take Diksha. So that point of time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was, we see in our Guru Parampara list, so we see that Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is there, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur was himself a very powerful devotee. But then he guides his son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to take Diksha from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. Now, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji was not very educated, but he was a wonderful and powerful devotee of the Lord. He knew all the secrets of devotional service. And you see, one side is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is well educated and highly scholarly person, and he goes and takes Diksha from somebody who is not educated. So that's the path which Bhaktivinoda Thakur showed him, that, Krishna consciousness has got nothing to do with scholarly qualification. It just makes you proud. But you see, if somebody is a very wonderful, powerful devotee, when somebody is practicing bhakti very nicely, then if we take shelter of that devotee, we get the bhakti very easily. The bhakti gets transferred from heart to heart. It doesn't come by the scholarly qualification. So there are so many learnings which we can get from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's example. So I would like to, stop here, and in the interest of time, because it's 6:30 now. And if any devotees are willing to share some more examples, and if you have some other wonderful realizations, you can also share. If there are any questions, also we are open for the questions. Hare Krishna.